Hello, everybody. It's Ryno here, and I am stopping by to finally say, hey, I feel like I've haven't made a video on this channel in I don't know months. When was the last time? It was a long time ago, but I wanted everybody to know I am still here. I still plan on making content for this channel, and I've got some other ideas I'm excited about. The last time I made a video was April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. It has been 7 months. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. And I promise I won't, it won't be that that far, not few and far between. I don't know the phrase I'm trying to say here. Anyways, so basically, I'm sorry, I'm still recovering from I had the flu a couple weeks ago, and I was worried it was like a bounce back case of COVID, but it was not. It was just like, oh, remember we still get sick with other things. And I whenever I get sick in my chest, it takes forever for me to get over the cough part of it. I used to get bronchitis all the time when I was a kid, and so I feel like I talk funny for months afterwards. So I apologize for this weird warble that I'm getting in my voice, but maybe it makes it better. Maybe it's like on Friends when Phoebe does the "my sticky shoe, why are you so sticky?" Maybe it's not, but thank you for bearing with me. Anyway, I just wanted to pop in. I know it's a live stream. I thought it would just be a little bit easier instead of me recording it, editing, obsessing over it, whatever, just getting it out there and saying like, "Hey, what's up? Still here." So yeah, I've been like traveling like crazy. Essentially, so the last video I made was in like April. I have to it's like the alphabet. I still have to say the months in my head because I don't have them memorized. So I'm like January, February, March, April, March, April. I made a video in April. At the end of April, I went to Disneyland for work. I was in California, and then at the end of May, I went out for Star Wars Celebration, and then I also had a work cruise I had to do in the middle of May, and then in June, I had my friend, one of my best friends, CJ, who lives in Texas. He comes to visit me like multiple times a year, and because he likes to go to the theme parks. It's not just me, but no, and so we he bought a house a couple years ago, and I've been saying I was going to go forever, and so him and his partner broke up. So I was like, you know what? I gotta go. I gotta go out here and be like a good friend because he's always a good friend to me, and he always comes here. And so it was great. I'm happy I did it. So I went to Austin. That was the first time I've ever been to Texas. My cousin also actually bought a place out there too. So I was like two birds, one stone, and or one flight. But yeah. So I went to Texas in June, Austin for the first time, and then in the middle of June, and then at the end of June, it was I had to cover the Disney Wish for work. That was like end of June, first couple days of July, I think. And then I want to say for the rest of the month of July, I didn't do anything. But then a work trip to go to Alaska came up, and of course I'm not going to pass that up. But I had already planned a trip um to California because every 2 years they do the official Power Rangers convention out there, and this was the first time it had been done in like 3 years because of COVID and everything. So I had bought tickets and made arrangements for that way before I had done anything else. So I was thinking like, oh, I'm not going to go. But then my other friend was going, and I was like, well, I can't let them down. So I went, and I'm really happy I did. And then I'll go into more detail about all this stuff in a little bit. I'm just explaining how much I was doing. So, and then literally I got back, and like 10 days later, it was D23, and I was going out for that because there was no way I'm missing D23. And then I think D23 also had like changed its dates around because I think it was originally announced that it was going to be in like May, or maybe it was Star Wars Celebration or something had changed its dates and then had moved around. But anyway, it was that. And then also my best friend, who lives in Milwaukee, she got married, and that was the end of, is that the end of September, into the first week of November? It was whenever the hurricane was. So I had to go out there, and I was out there for like a week, and I'm really happy I'm happy. It was like a happy thing. The storm essentially had me go out there 2 days early, and I'm happy I did because I loved being out there and being able to help and do everything with help with the wedding and everything like that. So I lied. It was the first weekend, the last weekend of September, first weekend of October. I knew it was in October because I was like, I knew it had switched, and that was when the hurricane was. And then after that, it, yeah, what did I do after that? Then I came back, and then I was just here for a while. Did I go somewhere again in October? I did a, like a. I feel like I came back. Oh, and then my friend came and visited me. CJ came back for Halloween Horror Nights, and then yeah, and it's just been one thing after another. And now I've got one more trip before the end of the year, and then I'm hoping to go home for the holidays too, because my grandparents are 89 years old, and they just had their 89th birthdays, both of them recently, and they are going to host Christmas for the first time since before COVID, and I can't miss it because who knows how many we have left. They're both 89 years old, and unfortunately, my grandfather is definitely in. I hate saying it's state of decline. I love them both so much, and I was at their house bare minimum 5 days a week, every day of my life, and so it's like one of those things. Not every day of my life, 5 days a week for like every year of my life, and um, they're just they're just as much my parents as my mom is my parents. So it's like my grandfather's like my father, and essentially, and so I just want to make sure I spend time with them while they're still active and able and stuff. And my grandfather's definitely in a decline, has some medical issues and stuff. So we don't know how much time we have with him, but I don't want to obsess over that. I want to celebrate and do things and chat and have conversations we want to have while we still have them with us, right? So so that's it. It's busy. It's just life, right? It gets in the way. But I want you to know I'm still reading. I'm still doing the Goosebump books. I'm debating about moving the Goosebumps podcast. Like I should have put it over. I was trying to make sure I had content on this channel, but I feel like my YouTube channel that is me, like is Ryan Clavin, Ryno. I think that should be like lifestyle stuff. Like, what am I doing on a day-to-day basis? Or like, what's life? What's happening in life? Like, where do I go to eat when I make drinks? Things like that. And then like the Goosebumps, like podcast shows and stuff, that should be on the Ampliverse, I think. So if you don't know what the Ampliverse is I started a website with my friend RJ, who is really the architect of all of it. I just had an idea one day while we were drinking. And it's just like a fandom website was the idea, that we just wanted to make it a little more make sure that we were making space for all different people from all different walks of life, and things like that, and making sure that everybody's voice was kind of equally heard, and that we could use a platform to help amplify voices of people that aren't normally amplified, in terms of people from minority communities and things like that. You know what I mean? Just it's one of those things where I feel like you have a platform. It's a Spider-Man thing. With great power comes great responsibility, and whatever that might be. And I think that when you are given a platform, that I want to believe that I'm going to help. I would love to believe that in the end of my life, I helped at least make the world a better place than the one I was brought into it. And I'm hoping that I would love similar-minded sentiment, people with that similar sentiment. Like, that's where I want you to be. We don't got time for haters. We don't say the trolls are not allowed over there. So no, thank you. We don't talk about that. But I like to have conversations about things in relation to that. And anyway, I mean, that's not what the Ampliverse is all about. That's like a base level. It's just kind of one of those things where it's like, I want anybody to come over, and what do you love? And what's that nerdy thing you love? It doesn't, I hate even using the word nerdy thing, but it's like, so like that's where I put like my Power Ranger podcast was on there. I haven't done that in a while. I'm actually thinking about starting another one in addition to the other one, like not getting rid of the other one, but I've got a friend, Oscar, who does a lot of podcasts, and he loves Power Rangers, and he kind of floated an idea around. So I don't know if it's going to be like maybe some sort of like rewatch. It's just that the accessibility of where to watch Power Rangers right now is essentially non-existent. I think you can watch them on the official YouTube channel because they've been like uploading an episode a day or something like that. And so they're slowly complete seasons on YouTube, so free to watch. But um so I'm thinking like now that there's a little bit more of a library, we might do some sort of like a rewatch podcast or something like that, which I feel like everybody does, but you aren't everybody, right? And that's what I always have to tell myself, is that sometimes people just want to know what you think. It's the same way when I go to certain friends. When you watch a movie and you're like, I want to know what this friend thinks. You know what I mean? So it's like I want people to believe that same thing. I see in the chat over here, Ben is suggesting beer reviews, and don't you worry. I have floated an idea with a friend of mine that many of you know, I'm sure, but about doing something that was just such a simple idea where it was just literally like drinks. And wherever we are, whatever we're having to drink, whatever, where we are, what's the place, what's the vibe, what's the drink, just like cut through all sort of that BS and just be like, check it out, you know? So, and I thought about like that would be great too, because then when we were having like beers at our house or Lindsay Sellers, you are in this podcast. I shouldn't use people's full names. Sorry, Lindsay. But I was thinking that, Lindsay and her husband always find like crazy unique beers. And she's been kind enough every now and then I get a little surprise delivery. And I was thinking like, I really should showcase, I feel like some of that stuff because they come from like smaller not distilleries, I'm sorry, breweries and things like that. And I think that would be like a fun idea. I'm just putting all my ideas out on the internet for everybody to steal, so go right ahead. But again, I think that it's a different idea when you have the same idea as somebody. Like not everyone's going to execute that idea in the same way, and that's exactly how I feel about um in terms of things I do for work, which I never like to talk about like very specifically on here, but I am one of those people where it's you can be first and you can be the best. That is 100% true, but I don't know that everybody is always there for that. I think sometimes it's very true, but I do believe that people genuinely want your take on it because I don't think there's anything like actually experiencing and witnessing some stuff for yourself in person. But I also 100% get the idea of wanting to see that window through it because maybe it's something you never will get to, but or it's something where you're just like, I need to know, is it will it even have it's the trailer for the movie, is my interest even peaked? So I feel like I'm all over the map for that. the name the name of the beer podcast is Beer from Lindsay. Yeah, I think that's a great idea, actually. No, my best friend Kim, she is actually a very like an incredibly. She's the one who got married in September in Milwaukee. She is so knowledgeable about beer because her job in Milwaukee was to be like this. The title I think was like beer master for this chain of restaurants, which are all delicious. I really enjoy them. But they would send her to like Belgium, and she learned a lot because they're like Belgian themed. Um, Restaurants, that's what their like specific focus kind of was. And like they have some great beers, but she knows so much that she's one of those people that I want to lock in to just do stuff because I think there's a really cool approach to being somebody like me who is only I feel like I mean, I feel like I'm settling into knowing really specifically what I like by beers, but I know nothing about like in terms of what the hop is I like. I'm trying to start learning that stuff about how to identify that sort of things, but I like knowing the history and some of that stuff and the craftsmanship that goes into all of that stuff. And so um I was thinking that might be a cool angle to take, like the expert and the novice, and like walk people through it. And then maybe some people would tiptoe out of their comfort zones in terms of that stuff. I find that the crazier it sounds, and I know a lot of people will be like, "Oh, gross, whatever," and I'm like, "But that's how you get out. It's the jumping in the cold pool sort of a thing, where you're like, it might be awful, but it also might just make you feel great." And so I like to kind of be that person who's like, "Look, I'll do it." And then you do it. You follow. So we'll see. Sam from Wisconsin. I am a fan of Wisconsin. I really enjoy Milwaukee. She works for the Lowlands. She did work for Lowlands. So like Cafe Benelux and uh I am 100% blanking at all of them, but my credit card receipt from when we were there for the wedding could tell you all of them. But there's like 6 or 7 of them, I think, downtown. Because there's Downer, but Downer, Cafe Hollander, Downer. There's 2 Cafe Hollanders, I think. But anyway, I enjoy those establishments. Milwaukee is insane with different types of food. Like every place is like I have not really had a bad meal there. I had bad pizza once, and I think it actually came from a chain pizza place that I don't want to shall remain nameless because I like to redeem. I'd rather speak positively about things as opposed to negatively because I feel like we've gotten kind of trapped lately into always people looking for the bad things about stuff, and I'd rather just not talk about that stuff. I'd rather just be like, okay, if you liked it, I'm going to talk about it, and if I didn't, it's like I don't want to talk about it because I didn't like it, unless it's like offensive. Um, but yeah, okay, so some of the places I went that I should say, like I said, I went to Austin, and it was cool. It was like, I think I'm going back next year. Well, I'm gonna go back next year because my friend lives there, and my cousin. But there's a Muse concert, and Muse is my favorite band, and there's a concert at the end of February that I think I'm gonna try and go to, because they're not touring anywhere in this area, this time around, and they only tour every so many years in the United States on top of that because they're a band from England, but, Austin is like when people are like, "It's a foodie city," it's so good. It like, the food was great everywhere, and people were very nice, and I thought I got to meet some friends, that I've known online for, like, I don't know, a decade, and, I got to go to Jensen Ackles Brewery, the family business brewery. Yeah, I was, like, second guessing myself, but, uh, breweries, liquor, distilleries and stuff. I went to oh my gosh, it's they make all the literally the bottles downstairs, and the sticker I have, I can't see, it's, like, flipped over. They make a lot of vodkas, and they're all, like, flavored vodkas, and I cannot remember, but they will pop up in videos because they were delicious. I got a cranberry vodka and a lime vodka from there, and it's, like, on the tip of my tongue, and I can see where it is at the store, I just can't remember the name of it. It's not Tito's, um, but anyway, uh, it was very good. I had um, Detroit style pizza for the first time ever, like pizza like 303, 307, 803. I forget what it's called. And it's like square pizza, and it looks like it's deep dish pizza because it's like this thick, but they put the sauce on at the end, and I don't think it's really on every pizza. And I had one that was like pepperoni and then like Mike's hot honey on it with some red pepper flakes. I ended up being like, "Can we go back here and get this again?" Because it was so good. And the best part, the reason why I'm telling that story specific is that I've spoken about Tin and Taco before, which is a local Orlando taco place that I think is so good. There's I think like 3 or 4 locations now. They just expanded their original location to now include a place called Sodo, like Sodough, Sodo Square, and it is a pizza place, and they have the taco that is my favorite taco at Tin Taco is now a pizza over there, and this pizza is off the chain. I am talking about Craig alerted me to it, which was very kind of him, and he has been like 6 times. Like, but the chicken bacon ranch pizza there will change your life, and it reheated in an air fryer the next day. I can't. I can't even. I can't. It's so good. They make one that's like a Big Mac one. I had that. Unfortunately, I had that one like the day I got the flu that I was talking about. So I'm associating it a little bit with being sick, but I didn't have any like food poisoning symptoms. So it's not related to the food. It's just like I associated with that fever. I didn't realize I had, um, but it's very good. So if you are in the Orlando area ever, I highly recommend that. This in the same venue. It's not that far away from the original Gideon's, which is like the best cookies ever, which you've seen. I did a video on this channel way back when. And then East End Market, which is has like Domu, which is amazing. The original Domu, all that stuff. It's all over there. It's so good. It's so good. There's a place that started it's like a Japanese thing. It looks like a fish, and it's like a biscuit. There's like an ice cream place that was started, and I think it's by an LGBTQ couple that I really want to go to. That's on the second floor because I never go upstairs. I always think just offices, not actual places to go up there. There's there and like a drink place, so maybe videos in the future on that sort of stuff because I'd really like to expose a lot of the things I like in terms of like local food and stuff, or wherever I'm going, wherever I'm eating. Let's eat, let's drink, let's make a drink, let's do all that stuff. So um but yeah, that was so good. So I'm so excited that they have that here. Again, chicken bacon ranch if you're going there, chicken bacon ranch. And what else did I'm in love with Milwaukee. I already said that. Alaska was beautiful, but more specifically, I got lucky. I got to stay a night in Seattle because I had a layover, and like the layover was so close that I was like, I feel uncomfortable. But so I was like, you know what? I've never been to Seattle, and I wanted like to at least spend one night because they're known for like beer and food and stuff like that too. So I was like, okay, so my flight, I had one night layover there, and so I stayed like right outside of the baseball stadium, and I went around to a couple of food places, and it was so good too. Seattle was cool. I can't wait to go back to Seattle. Seattle was a very surprisingly like lush city. It was like a lot of greenery, And again, a very LGBTQ friendly city, lots of flags up everywhere and stuff like that. I got lucky in this trip where I was like hitting perfect weather everywhere I went. Um, these historically rainy places like Seattle and Vancouver, I got them on like the best weather they had all year. But I told my friend CJ, who's the one who lives in Austin, I was like, I think we need to like plan a trip to go to Seattle because he and I will always we go to California. He comes with me to California for my Power Ranger convention. Usually he didn't go this year because his brother was getting engaged, but uh he so I was like, I think maybe we should like do a trip up here and in the in between because this year we don't have our Power Ranger convention. But so we're talking about doing that. So I would love to be back. But yeah, and Vancouver was just like what a city. I mean, it like you could walk everywhere and like you've got a city that's like a downtown city that's like the metropolis with the big skyscrapers and things, and then you've got this other part of a city that remind like it's like the hipster sort of side of town where like the buildings are all like 1 or 2 stories maybe, but it's a lot of like local shops and things like that. And then you've got another area of town that's like Stanley Park where it's all like it's the beach and there's walking trails and bikes and there's a brewery in the woods and I loved my time there as well. It was so good, so much fun. I have just been traveling like crazy, and I am a anxiety riddled person, so I have felt awful about every time I go and trying to embrace just enjoying it. But it's like I miss my dogs when I go anywhere, and so it always makes me a little sad, like I'm missing part of their life and stuff like that. But yeah. But I can Artie's downstairs right now. Some days today he doesn't want to come up the stairs. He's usually right here, but yeah, Artie and Rocket are downstairs right now. Very quiet today. But yeah. Um, oh, okay. Sorry, I'm trying to read the chat because I have been seeing people are asking questions, and I just, yes. Roxas the Panda, you have a question about that escape room. Oh, okay. So I just realized I just said everything I did, and I didn't really say what I like really intended to, which is that if you like the type of work that I do, I would recommend. I have been thinking lately about some stuff, and I'm just thinking that I think I'm gonna split the type of videos I do between this channel. Like I said, this will be all like very personal, just me, my life, sort of me specific in terms of like it's very casual, very casual. I'm more of the person who I wanted to tune it. I want to be a Clarissa explains it all. I think more than like these people who do YouTube channels and vlogs and stuff like that they're very structured, very whatever. That's a little loosey goosey. I'm sorry. That's why it's like I don't want to be the guy to be like subscribe because it's okay if you don't want to subscribe. I'm not going to push anybody or whatever. I'm just saying if you're subscribed, I think you get the notification if you click the bell when I'll randomly do something like this in the afternoon. But I have had anxiety and issues about feeling like, should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? I'm always questioning what I'm doing because I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody or anything like that. And I think you just got to live your life and do the things that make you happy. And so I'm going to remember that. And honestly, sharing some of these things I do just make me happy because through stuff like this, I get to meet some of you, or we just get this community to have a chat going. I learn new things because it's people from all over the world that tune in. And I feel like, I don't know, it's just cool. It'll never cease to be amazing to me when some stranger in a crowd says, "Are you Ryno?" And I am incredibly flattered and flabbergasted to this day when that sort of things happens. And I'm not bragging, I'm not whatever, but it just brings me so much joy. So nobody ever feel like you can't say hello. But in terms of like other experiences that maybe aren't like that, I would check out the Ampliverse, which again is the website I started with my friend, because the Ampliverse has written content on it. Um, we have people providing like articles and things like that. It's an open landing space. It's not, you want to be a part of it. If you have something you're passionate about and you're just a little iffy about, knowing what to do, I feel like this day and age, everybody can create a YouTube channel and that's cool and fine and well and done. But not everybody, there are a lot of people I feel like we don't have really like does everyone remember like Live? Was it called like Live Book or something like that? Live Journal? Yeah, Live Journal, where you would like, it was essentially, it was like a MySpace. It was around that era, and I felt like people would type, and we got message boards and things like that. But I feel like sometimes people want to write, and there's not a lot of places for that landing material. They just want to feel like they're contributing something to somewhere. So that was the whole idea between the Ampliverse, is that I wanted to create a space, and it doesn't cost people money to be a part of it or anything like that. But it's like you got an idea of something, and you're like, oh, I like this thing, and I want to write about it. It's providing you that space. You want to make a podcast, you don't know where to do it or host it or whatever, put it over there. The websites, I we paid for the website. So that's what the website is for. So it's all about just kind of helping people connect with other people that they have similar interests with, like any website, any fandom sort of website. I just hate people that gatekeep fandoms. It kind of started with like how people treated Kelly Marie Tran, with Star Wars stuff, and how they are with John Boyega when it's a stormtrooper, stuff like that, that just drives me insane. And I myself am a fan of a very niche fandom, which is Power Rangers. And there are a lot of adult fans, but it is a very mixed bag in terms of the fans. And it's insane to me, because I'm like, it's already such a niche fandom at this point, that wouldn't you want to welcome more people in this fandom instead of like kicking them out? And like, whether you've seen, because my whole thing with Power Rangers is like, whether you've seen one episode or 100 episodes or all of the thousand, I think there's like 1,500 episodes or something like that. There's definitely over 1,000 episodes at this point, but like, or you've seen one season, one movie, one time, one thing, but you're like, I like it, and I don't know where to start because it's so much. You want to read the comics and you don't know anything about the show. That's what it's supposed to be. I want someone to be like, oh, well, welcome. Let me show you around. Virtual librarian, apparently, is what I want to be. But yeah. But Live Journal's still active. Oh God, I'm embarrassed. I have got to get in there then and deactivate my thing. I don't even remember. I remember writing into like my mom's basement or something like that. I don't even know if it's this screen name or not, but sure it's like super emo, moody stuff. But yeah. But that's the whole idea. The whole idea of the Ampliverse is like anyone's welcome, things to make you happy and give you a little bit more space and get you all connected. But anyway, because it's a fandom website, I feel like some fan driven things that I am into, those are going to end up over there. I don't want to say too much about it, but I would maybe like check that out. There isn't anything like it yet that you could see other than my drinking videos that I do with my friend Jill. We do the Bourbon Study on YouTube, and then I have my Power Rangers podcast you can find on that website. And then I'm gonna start writing, I think, on the website every now and then. I got some things I just every now and then I'm thinking about, and I'm like, you know what? I want to write like a little. I miss writing the 5 paragraph essay. Like what was that? I don't know. I'm just weird. Sometimes it's just like I like the feeling of the clicking on the keyboard. It makes me feel productive, even though it's probably just like fluff and whatever. But so check that out, theampliverse.com. I'll put a link in the description of this video. But the YouTube channel is called the same thing, and I'm about to do a push to expand the content that's going to be on the YouTube channel. So right now it's basically just me and like RJ. RJ does a monthly book club though. That's a lot of fun that I can never seem to finish reading the book for. But they just did Carrie was on there. They did Jurassic Park. They do like all different types of book. I think they did like Sense and Sensibility because none of them had read it. But they're a lot. Their discussions are like they're a riot and they're a lot of fun. And then, like I said, I do the bourbon videos, and there's other stuff, but yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I should start the beer thing over there too. But I kind of only handle one drinking thing at a time right now, so I got to stick to the bourbon study for until through the end of the year at least. So, but yeah, I'm just gonna. Oh, I was gonna say I am still reading. I'm still doing the Goosebumps stuff too. Like I said, I might move it to the Ampliverse. I might not. I don't know. I don't know where I'm at with that yet. It feels like it should be on the Ampliverse and not over here. But I did read the 30th anniversary, which was this hardcover Goosebumps book. I have a lot of thoughts about this. I am still reading the main series, but I thought this was like part of the main series because it's the anniversary special. But it like is and it isn't, and you'll see in my I don't mean to be making this like face and this noise, so you can clearly see how I probably felt about it, but this will be the next episode I do of the Let's Get Goosebumps, and then I'll be back in the regular one. I've got some time set aside where I'm actually going to finish reading The Ghost Next Door, and then we got Haunted Mask right after that. That's the thing, as I'm so excited for the Haunted Mask. So yeah, that is just a little bit of the update I wanted to give everybody. I feel like I want to start. I want to. I almost started a movie podcast during lockdown, and it was great, but it was like technologically. I have a new computer now. It was limited by a lot of the tech I have, and also this one website Zencaster I was using. They finally came out with their video streaming service that you can live switch between, and I think it's like very minimal amount of money to use it, but I was like, now I could do like a video one. I could have just made it just audio only. I'm a video guy. I feel like I like having the video. I like people to see. I feel like when you see the people talking about it, sometimes their passion comes through a little bit more. I don't know. I'm also not very eloquent. So whenever I need to do a Jim Halpert look to the camera, it always helps. So, ooh, Kyle's having, Treehouse, oh, Cape Cod. The next time I'm in Massachusetts, I am going to the treehouse location down the Cape. I have not been to a treehouse yet, and I am going to go. That is on my list. When I go home for Christmas, I'm doing it. Because treehouse makes my favorite beer, the Julius, so good, so good. Oh, Rafi, I appreciate you with the Elgato capture card. My new camera actually plugs directly in through USB-C, which is great. But I have I'll let you know about the capture card though, because that is still on my radar of potentially doing some stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, if people have ideas and suggestions, I'm always open to it too. But I promise I'm going to update this a little bit more. I thought about doing just like random live streams. Like, I have an idea for my loft where I was like, while I'm like cleaning and going through it, maybe everybody could help me. I'll just do a live stream, set up a camera, and do the 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 polls to be like, should it stay or should it go? I don't know. Like, you can all help me Marie Kondo my life a little bit, because I definitely need it. I want to do it. It's just it's difficult sometimes, So, and Lindsay, maybe when I go to Treehouse in Massachusetts, I'll have to let you know. And in Massachusetts, I think it's only in Massachusetts, but I'll have to let you know, and maybe I can pay it forward, some of the beer that you have sent me over the last couple of years now. So I appreciate it. But I feel bad. I'm not sure if there was like any questions or anything I might have missed in here. Please feel free. I'll do this for just a couple more minutes because we're already in a vibe. But I did have a green tea right before we started, so I am on a on a little bit of a time crunch in terms of my bladder. So, if you have not seen Wakanda Forever, I highly recommend it. I very much enjoyed it. I think they made the best Black Panther movie they could make without Chadwick Boseman. Or it was like, it was what was needed cathartically. I honestly believe that. So, it was very good. If you have not seen the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once, that movie was phenomenal. I highly recommend it. I'm just trying to think about movies. I have tickets to what's the new Knives Out movie? The Glass Onion or something like that, because it's like in the theater for a week. I got tickets for that. So I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to that. Dee asked about the convention. My Power Ranger convention was great. I'm really happy I didn't end up not going to that. I was almost not going to go, but I did, and I'm happy because I had a great time and got to see my friends, my Power Ranger friends, who like I really pretty much only see during this convention. I saw them for the first time in like 3 years and made some new friends and stuff there, and that's what's always it's fun. That's why I always try to force myself to do that stuff, because you gotta make friends around the things you love, right? So, yeah, decluttering is a nightmare. Because the hard part is too is I know I'm not gonna live here forever, and it's like I don't wanna, like, literally get rid of everything, and then all of a sudden now I'm in a space where everything could have fit and be like, "Gotta buy it again." So it's a bummer. But yeah. Um, Move from Connecticut to Ohio. What a move. Uh, I'm just scrolling through here. I'm sorry to keep doing the uhs and the verbal pauses and everything. Um, hey, you know what I just ordered from? I don't know if some of you have seen this before, but it's called like I think their Instagram is superhero. Let me look it up. But they do these like sweatsuits. I can't show you on here because I don't have that ability right now. Um, but let me see. Let me just check their Instagram so you could see it if you wanted to. It's their Instagram is Super X Superheroes. I don't know which of these is their actual Instagram. Wow, they got superheroes as their Instagram. What a find. Anyway, I'm gonna share it. They do these cool like sweatsuits that are they're inspired by superhero outfits. So I put the link in the chat in here. I'm not affiliated with them at all, but I was gonna say I followed them for a while and I always like wanted a suit because it looks really cool. And now that athleisure wear is even more popular, it seems like the perfect time to try it. I tried one because there's a Black Friday sale that they started doing, and the Shang-Chi inspired shirt was like on like clearance for like 30, I think it was $35 and then it's like $10 shipping. But if you haven't ordered anything from before and you like make an account, they'll send you a code, a coupon code or something like that. So I got like $10 off. So it only costs like $32 with shipping. And it came in yesterday and the quality is very nice. I should actually do like I think I should do like a little video review because there have been a couple of places that I've wanted to order from and there's no like visual review of it. And that sort of like it drives me crazy because as somebody who sits on the cusp between like right between sizes, it's difficult for me because lately I buy all my shirts extra large. Um, but like jackets are different because sometimes they're bigger. So I'm like, do I still want that in a large or an extra large? And then it's like, because like, is it just a little small in the large? Because then it's like I'd rather do that because I don't zip up the jackets that often or stuff. So I think I'm gonna do a review of it. I'll do a like video review so you can see it a little more detailed. But I got the Shang-Chi shirt. I put it on. It's a little form fitting. I got it in my normal size, extra large. I have ordered another one because if the item is on like clearance, you can't return it, which is okay because I have plenty of people in my life I know who want that shirt. So Christmas present. And but there is a really cool like this one called Drake that is not Drake the singer, but it is like Tim Drake, like the Robin. And aesthetically, the Robin costume, I love it. There's also a Flash costume that looks really cool in here. And um, I I'm like thinking I want to do the set, but in 2023 they're going to do a Power Ranger one. It's called Scott, and I hope it actually happens. And they're redoing a Black Panther one too, which looked really cool. But um, I ordered the extra large. Like I said, I will report back when I get it and let you know. But the quality feels like it's there. But it's something where I'm like, okay, order a size up because as so far. But I don't know the one that on the way that might be too tight still for me too because I'm I right now don't like things sticking to my body. So it's just me personally. Some people like things a little more form fitting, and that's okay. But that's why I was like, I want to hear from people who don't have superhero bodies what it's like for them. Because I'm there's also another place called Nerd Up on Instagram, and they have essentially printed a like these bomber jackets, which is my favorite type of jacket. Actually, hold up, I might be no, it's Nerd Up. I think I'm just gonna find it really quick, but they have done jackets for essentially every season of Power Rangers, and some season of Power Rangers do have jackets, like Power Rangers in Space, and I want the in space jacket. It's called Nerd Up Now. And I tried to send a message to ask about the fit. Where I was like, are they true to size or do they run small? Because if they're true to size, I'm okay. But if they run small and I've ordered it, because they're not inexpensive, but they've got like the SPD jackets. They're all and they're printed like in a way like on the because I've seen people in person now, and I finally was able to ask somebody because there was a girl with one at the Power Ranger convention I just went to this weekend in Orlando, and she's like, it's pretty true to size. She said it even was a little big. Well, but she was a very small girl, but there was another guy that had one, and he said he went a size up, and he was a bigger guy. He was about maybe a little bit bigger than me. So I think I'm just gonna do. I think all that to say. I think I'm gonna order one of these in like a large and just see what happens. But again, this is a company where I'm kind of annoyed because I'm like, I sent a message and I probably would have bought like 3 of these jackets right by now. I definitely would have bought one for my Power Ranger convention, but I want the in space, like the bomber jacket, because that was like the suits they wore when they were on the ship. And they look cool. And it's subtle enough that it's really like, unless you knew what it was, I think you just think it was a jacket with like designs on it. So I don't know. I want it. I want it. Also, I don't think I should just be making like $70 purchases randomly, but you know, I think that might be how much it is, but we'll see. I think I'm just gonna get into reviewing more things like this. I feel like that's what I like. I like to because I like people to know. I think it's important. I don't know. It's like I know there's a lot of people out there that really want just really want this sort of stuff, but we all got different body types, so we don't know. We got to hear it. Um, but yeah, I ordered. I don't know if have you seen the figgy pudding spam? My friend who is obsessed with spam, I like musubi and stuff like that, which is like spam, rice, and then seaweed. There's like a seasoning on it, and sometimes you hit it with a little sriracha. It's very good. Oh, I want that for dinner. But you cook the spam in it. For me. You gotta fry it or whatever, or you put it in the air fryer if you want or something. But um, they've done a figgy pudding for the holidays, and I thought it was just figgy pudding. And my friend is he's in the Filipinos. He's in the Philippines right now. I mean, maybe he's in the Filipinos, but he's in the Philippines because his parents are turning 70, so he's going to visit them. And he was like, order this for me, please. So I have ordered 2 of them, and I was like, we got to do a taste test of this. Like, we got to do a live taste test. So I'll yeah. So I need to do more of those and stuff like that. I feel like now that I've got like my camera set up and it's a little easier to connect and everything, it might be a little easier to do that. It's just hard because I don't have an actual room. I'm literally just like in an open air loft. So um doing that stuff, I really have to find the times to do it. And unfortunately, it's never when I'm like, I want to do this right now. And also riddled with anxiety and having to find the right confidence level to get there. But I'm happy. I'm happy we did this. My pups are very good. Thank you for asking. And I did see Wakanda Forever. Loved it. Highly recommend it. Um, but yeah, I am. Oh, Rafi, if you go to that pizza place, tell me what you think. Do the chicken and bacon ranch. I'm telling you, and save like 2 pieces for tomorrow. I ate 4 pieces the first time. It's like 6 or I think it's like 6 or 8 of the sizes. Because like it'd be perfect if it was like 4 or 8. But there was a 6 or 8, and it's just like, oh god, so good, so good. Oh god, I want that too. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna go because my bladder is catching up with me because of the green tea, which I made in my shiny Black Panther cup. I love this cup because it's like huge. It's like so wide. Box Lunch sent this to me. My tea bag today says, "Compassion is the constant act of giving oneself to others." That's nice. But it's cute, right? I've basically made this my whole personality right now. My friends got me this. They went to see it at Cinemark. I went to AMC. Didn't have a cup at AMC. What the heck, AMC? And then I got the AMC popcorn bucket though, and there's like a reversible bomber jacket they were selling at Disney Springs. My friend got that for me, so uh, yeah, I am excited. Or she was at Disneyland and has brought it back for me, so yeah, lots of fun. Anyway, I promise I'll try and be more consistent about this. No, not I promise I'll be more. I am going to be more consistent. Stay tuned because there's going to be some changes. And I think you will see those here and on the Ampliverse. So if you like the content that I have produced out into the world, I think those are the 2 places that you are going to are, you can find them. So, check those out, and I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you're all staying safe, happy, and healthy. And yeah, I'll see you all soon. So, thanks for hanging out for a little while and giving me something to do. I mean, not that I didn't have stuff to do. Thank you for distracting me in the most positive way possible. I really appreciate it. I needed this. So, I'm happy for all of you here. And leave me some comments. Chit chat, chit chat, chit chat, and we'll talk soon. So, bye everybody.